30 minutes ago, Taehyung revealed the truth. Jungkook in tears because of the hype. It happened suddenly, without warning, and with a force that silenced every corner of the fandom. 30 minutes ago, Kim Taehyung broke his silence and revealed a fact so raw that Jungkook could not hold back his tears. What exactly did Taehyung say, and why did the moment trigger such an emotional breakdown from Jungkook? Could this be the beginning of a bigger storm inside the group that has captivated the world for more than a decade? The revelation came in the most unexpected way. Taehyung, known for his calm presence and rare but powerful words, decided to speak up about the overwhelming pressure that has surrounded Jungkook for years. The hype that turned him into the golden magne may have seemed like glory to outsiders, but behind the spotlight, it carried a weight almost impossible for a young man to endure. And when Taehyung chose to uncover this truth, Jungkook's emotions cracked open in public, showing the world a side of him that had long been hidden behind perfection. Observers who witnessed the moment described it as unsettling. Jungkook, who has always been celebrated for his strength and flawless image, suddenly appeared fragile. His tears did not come from weakness, but from years of suppressed weight finally being recognized by someone who stood closest to him. Taehyung's revelation was not just a statement. It was an explosion of truth that cut through years of silence. But what exactly did Taehyung mean when he said that the hype had been both a blessing and a curse? This question now lingers among fans and critics alike. For years, Jungkook has been the face of unshakable discipline, the figure who seemed immune to exhaustion, pressure, and doubt. But the reality, according to Taehyung, is starkly different. The expectations built around Jungkook were not natural growth. They were constructed, amplified, and multiplied until they became chains. And when the weight of those chains was acknowledged by Taehyung, Jungkook's tears flowed as if they had been waiting for this exact moment of validation. The timing of this revelation raises even more questions. Why did Taehyung decide to speak now? Why choose this moment, just as Jungkook is once again under the spotlight with endless anticipation from both fans and industry figures? The shock lies not only in the content of Taehyung's words, but in the urgency with which he chose to say them. His decision was deliberate, heavy, and impossible to ignore. Some who were present claim that Taehyung's voice trembled as he spoke, though his words remained sharp. He pointed out how the hype surrounding Jungkook had been celebrated as an unstoppable wave, but behind it lay nights of exhaustion, suffocating expectations, and endless comparisons. He described the hype not as an achievement alone, but as a shadow that haunted Jungkook wherever he went. Those listening were stunned. The image of invincibility surrounding Jungkook collapsed in real time, replaced by the reality of human fragility. Jungkook's reaction was immediate. His tears were not staged, nor were they quiet. His body language, trembling and unable to mask the overwhelming flood of emotion, told a story louder than any words could. For the first time, the world saw the cost of being the centerpiece of hype. And as he cried, the question that echoed through the room, and now through the fandom, was painfully clear. How much longer can one person carry the weight of millions of expectations? The shockwaves of this moment are already spreading. Fans who witnessed it online have expressed everything from heartbreak to outrage. Many are questioning the system that allowed Jungkook to be placed under such relentless hype, while others are fixated on the courage it must have taken for Taehyung to finally say aloud what had been whispered in private for years. Was this revelation a warning? Was it a cry for help on Jungkook's behalf? Or was it simply the truth that could no longer be buried under silence? What adds to the tension is the tone of Taehyung's words. He did not present them as speculation or vague hints. His statement was clear, heavy, and undeniable. The fact that he chose to reveal this truth now, knowing the impact it would have on Jungkook and on the fandom, makes the situation even more intense. Was it meant to protect Jungkook by exposing the pressure he has faced, Or was it meant to shake the system that continues to fuel such impossible hype? Even those closest to the group seem unsure how to respond. The intensity of Jungkook's tears left many stunned into silence, unsure of whether to console him or to process the weight of Taehyung's words. The atmosphere was thick, charged with emotions that no one seemed prepared to face. And now, 30 minutes after the revelation, the world is left asking, what comes next? The fallout from this moment could be seismic. Jungkook, who has always been the symbol of perfection, is now seen as deeply human, carrying scars that fans were never meant to see. Taehyung, by exposing the truth, has changed the narrative entirely. What once was seen as unstoppable hype is now being dissected as something dangerous, even destructive. And while Jungkook's tears may have been an expression of release, they also symbolize the cracks forming within an image too carefully built for too long. Could this lead to greater openness within the group? Could it spark conversations about the dangers of hype culture in the entertainment industry? Or will it be buried quickly, overshadowed by the very machine that created the hype in the first place? These questions remain unanswered, but one fact is undeniable. The truth that Taehyung revealed has already altered how fans see Jungkook and how Jungkook sees himself. This is not the first time whispers of pressure have surrounded Jungkook, but it is the first time someone as close as Taehyung has spoken publicly about it. The fact that his words drew such a visceral reaction from Jungkook shows how deeply they resonated. This was not merely an observation, it was a direct acknowledgement of pain. And when pain is acknowledged so openly, it becomes impossible to ignore. The fandom now finds itself split between heartbreak and anger. Some are mourning the years Jungkook spent carrying the weight of hype in silence, while others are demanding accountability for those who fueled it. But beneath all the reactions lies one shared truth. Jungkook's tears have become a symbol of what happens when hype grows too heavy for a single person to bear. 30 minutes may have been enough to change everything. In that short span of time, Taehyung's revelation pulled back the curtain on an unspoken reality, and Jungkook's tears sealed it in history. This was not just an emotional moment between two members. It was a turning point that could redefine how the world views the price of hype in the music industry. And as the world watches the aftermath unfold, one question refuses to fade. If even Jungkook, the one who seemed untouchable, breaks under the weight of hype, what does that say about the system that built it in the first place?